Back in the day we used to wait. Tension built in and around us. For without silence, the loudest noise loses its impact. In a society that fills every second with noise, every canvas with color, and every thought with more thought, we should seek silence. Silence is where the magic happens. Okay, watch me.
Welcome back, everyone. This is another episode of Talk About Things I Like, where I, Float Circus, talk about things I like. And last week I talked about how safety makes everything sound the same and why artists should take more risks to develop their art and their career. And when I edited this video, I thought about something else that is very, very similar to safety. It's another disease of the modern culture, and it makes everything sound just as flat and boring. You might have guessed it by the intro. Today's topic is silence, or rather, our fear of silence. I think it's crazy because you see how the fear of silence takes away the art of anticipation from every part of life. Intros aren't long anymore. Promotion shows you the best part of the song, and there's nothing else to discover when the song finally is released. We don't eat without a screen anymore. We don't take walks without a headphone. It's really, we avoid silence where we can, and what it does is we lose the ability to let things unfold. We lose really deep worlds that we get sucked into because we don't have time. Think of In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. It takes over 1 minute to get to the first chorus. I think silence should be a great part of good songwriting, good producing, good music in general. Silence is the space where things might happen, and this is among the most important things of good art. The connection between you and your audience is what they feel, but it hasn't been spelled out yet. And I've learned to treat silence as a good thing. And in this video, I want to talk about the aspects of my life and my art where seeking silence really improved everything. First of which, the most important in my opinion, silence is the best mirror in life. If you take a walk without headphones and you give in to an extended amount of time with yourself in silence, you really start to hear your own thoughts, which is also why most people don't want to do that, because they don't like what they hear at times and they don't know how to cope with the fact that sometimes their mind tells them stuff they don't want to hear. But silence is also the space where good ideas are born, and it's really important to seek silence, especially as an artist, because it's the best way to get clear on your ideas, to make them take shape in your mind first, and then you can project them into reality. This is how great art is made, and this is why every artist should seek silence from time to time. Speaking of things taking shape, the next point I want to talk about is silence in music, which obviously is very important on many levels. And there's two major aspects that I want to cover. First of which I already briefly talked about it. It's intros and in general silence as a tool to build tension and to build anticipation. I think there are many examples of songs where there's a very quiet part that makes another part stand out immensely. So if you're a songwriter or a producer, make longer intros and use silence to build anticipation. It's really important to immerse the listener into a world that lets them experience what's coming the right way. And the best way to do that is to build anticipation for what's coming. So seek silence in your songwriting and in your productions. And the other major part is groove, because everybody who has studied a classical instrument probably heard this, no, you have to play the pauses. And the more I've developed my musical skills, rhythmic skills as a drummer, as a producer, I've learned that this advice is really true, because if you think about the rhythm section, silence is not nothing, it's rhythm. It builds the rhythm. Groove isn't just what's there, it's what isn't there. And all of those tiny nuances of what's there sometimes, what could be there, this is the pocket. And I would like to encourage you to listen to all of the catalog of D'Angelo, who passed away very recently, unfortunately. It's a tragic loss because this man really was able to build pockets that had such a unique groove and feel to them. You should really listen to his catalog if you haven't already. Also, Michael Jackson is a great example. Thriller, for example, the groove of Thriller breathes through all those little pauses because everything is so tight, and there's every now and then there's a little room to breathe, and this is what gives the groove this edge and this groove. It's silence is the groove. So play with little pauses. If everything is there all the time, everything is flat and there's nothing interesting. You have to have movement in the tracks. So embrace silence in groove and in songwriting in general. And then there's this other layer, the algorithmic noise. And this one strikes me deep because I think it shapes the minds of the people into something that is really bad for any meaningful art, because everything needs to be optimized for attention. If it doesn't move fast enough, it's dead. If it doesn't catch your attention well enough and for long enough, it's dead. So in the end, many artists tailor their creativity towards attention and not connection, because building deep worlds for a long time doesn't perform as well. But in the end, it's the real thing. So I think we should bring back silence in music, in conversation, in how we live, because silence is tension, it's patience, it's depth. So if safety makes everything sound boring, silence is what makes it human again, I think.